Hello, welcome to episode 28. Gilganos playing Dawntrail. Last time we came into this lab, and now we want to find out what comes of it, and also we have dungeon ahead and a trial, right? So, no fancy opening shots this time, we'll just get right into it. Let's go. Alright, let's go. A calculated evolution. Shale is examining the card scanner. Right, I'll get this door open. There we go. Whew, smooth as silk. Let's head inside and see what awaits. God, the buff, isn't that... The key. What? Oh no. Was there a backup key? And that's why Calyx hasn't intervened, because he wanted us to open the facility, even though he could have totally done that himself as well, I would assume, right? So that he can get the backup key. The key to interdimensional fusion? That looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key, but isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Yumi has? Yeah, true. Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Milala relic, once this treasure came into its possession. Preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here. So what might that tell us? The crystal itself is the key. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. It is, as my parents explained. The key remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electrope, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion, not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why, but we do know that it had Asm's mark on the top, right? Asm's symbol. Now it makes sense. Calyx can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Y'shtollar's assistance for a thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calyx's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there is a security card here that grants access to the director's office. The research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards that they left behind. Remember, anything less than a level 3 is no good to us. Alright, storage crate. This lone storage crate is filled with document binders and other miscellaneous objects, none of which are security cards. It's 3D printers. Why were they making so many vessels? The other ones not work properly? Oh, I wonder. I'll search through these drawers. One of us is bound to find something, I'm sure of it. Oh yeah, otherwise the game wouldn't continue. Maybe someone left a card on a shelf somewhere. Is that CDs? Oh, it's regulators, right? I keep holding out hope that I'll find some evidence of my parents here, despite knowing there is none. You find a security card in the cabinet drawer. Oh, did you just find a security card? Well, that's a stroke of luck. Let's have Shale examine it, to be sure. Well, it might not be a level 3, right? Well, well, if it is exactly what we needed. Nice work, Yumi. What should I say? You know, like, I kind of have a sixth sense for stuff like that. Oh, a level 3! That should get us into the director's office. It's like a gotcha. Gotcha game. Hey, I got a 3-star. Woo! I've been playing too much Uma Musume in recent times. So, what was it you were hoping to find in there again, Shale? You were saying that a certain device was going to help us. Right. I haven't properly explained myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay. After we discovered this ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep's security cameras. Considering the way Calyx is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the city's surveillance systems and has been using it to monitor our activities. To monitor what you, as the keyholder, are planning. But since Calyx is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like a river that we can follow back to him. Which is why I need a data relay. If I can analyze the device and see where it's rerouting all the surveillance traffic, then you can pinpoint Calyx's position. That said, he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be on the entirely wrong tracks. Yeah, exactly. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calyx said he was measuring Yumi's strength. What can he possibly dream up that's stronger than her? Hey, there's a camera up there. Well, speaking of cameras, there was another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data though, if you'd like to see it. Sure. I always love snooping into other people's private lives. Oh well, work lives, I guess. Let's start the show then. Imagine if it was a sex tape from work. That would have been funny.
Are you really planning to leave?
They really remind me on the ancients right now, with the long robes and everything.
Yes.
In Elpis.
The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me. I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish. What would become of mankind were we to halt that process?
You might want to cut those bangs of yours.
If is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
Imagine that as a... I'm pretty sure that's not an actual haircut in the game, right? Imagine if it was.
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calyx's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject. But I cannot.
Host regulators look like the masks that
in too many ways.
Hythlodeus and Emerson cat on the... Okay. Am I tripping? No, they wore their masks around the neck, right? Wasn't there someone in the game in the mask like to the top left? Maybe not. Maybe that's something else. Something completely different. I'm remembering wrongly.
I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research. I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. Yet, I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come.
Hey, the founding member of Oblivion. Oh no, never mind. She's dead.
Protocol, you understand? There
Wow.
can be no exceptions.
And he just left her body there. Really? She only wanted to leave and he executed her. I checked the images against the personnel data, and the man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius himself. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calyx. The cameras in his room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers. I'm not surprised, given how my parents described the defection from the Institute. They spoke of rushing me through a portal even as Preservation's agents closed in on them. I dared not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out they were captured by their pursuers, they might have been executed on the spot, right? Oh, but then how would they have become endless? Well, regulators, I guess, haha. They did not regret their actions. Right, the Echo. Knowing you saw them as they were, your words give me great comfort. Oh, Kryl. Very nuts, Fiend. Thanks to the Haven of Living Memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It is enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and Preservation. But what we do know is that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten the child's safety. Right, let's press on, shall we? This tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion. To the director's office! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da! They gotta end this with a bang, right? They gotta end this expansion story arc with a bang, right? And like, currently I would deem it most likely that at the end of this patch, Calyx does actually have the key to interdimensional travel and that he will escape to another reflection or something like that. And that he, or at least Preservation or something around this organization, will indeed be an overarching enemy to fight in the expansions to come. At least I hope so. If not, well, then they would have to have a really good setup, because, you know, like they've kept saying that this expansion is a little more like a Realm Reborn in terms of, you know, like world building and stuff like that, but yeah, so far I'm just really missing the build up for another big nemesis, right? That would oppose us over more than just one expansion, right? Which is not necessarily necessary to have, but, you know, then it's just like Shadowbringers and Endwalker were so good because they were the conclusion to this overarching story. Of this long story arc, right? So they have to root this in this expansion, right? I would feel. At least that would my logical conclusion be. So, Was Calyx the one who gave orders to execute defectors? The more we learn about him, the less I understand. I don't expect to find any information on my parents in this room either. And that's something I can be proud of. Because they erased their trace as well. My earlier investigations put the data relay just past this door. Let's get it open, shall we? That man in the recording was Director Demetrius, then this must be his office. Hearing Trial talk about the parents reminded me of how much I miss Namika. I guess I'll never really get over it. Hold the level 3 security card up to the scanner. There we go, let's go inside. Now to find the data relay. And don't be shy everyone, speak up if anything odd catches your eye. You may come with me, I might have need for that security card. Right, that's what you want me for, only for my security card. I have feelings too, you know. That looks a little boring. This is a report on reducing people to ether and how much energy can be harnessed per individual. Ah, yikes. Oh, my apologies, I was thinking about the key. Something odd. Something odd. He also has an espresso machine, haha. Oh, this Director Demetrius was very particular about how he decorated his office. We've got incense and vases and some kind of gem display. Is that the key to the... Was that the key to the... that I'm holding in my key? Like the crystal in my key? Then what are the other two? Yeah, I'm kinda surprised that there isn't one of these in like 5 or 4 ball swinging thingies. I don't know how they're called. That would have been fun if they implemented that and you could actually activate it. I'm pretty sure the crystal that is in my key was probably there. I don't remember how it looks to be honest, but you know, that's the odd thing over there, obviously. And this terminal isn't connected to any outside networks, so it can't be the data relay I'm looking for. This office is also smaller than the map suggested. Well, it probably isn't, right? I'm positive we're in the right room, but what am I missing? Sorry, Yomi, could I ask you and the others to search the office for any clues to this infuriating puzzle? Oh, okay, maybe it's not. Maybe I need to find a gem and put it in there, right? Beverage station. Gonna make myself a coffee. Having lain dormant for years, the now active coffee maker has already ended the self-cleaning cycle. It appears to have no other purpose beyond brewing coffee, though it remains to be seen when it will be able to do so once more. You find a crumpled node wedged between the file binders. Cure room lift access. Requires password to be input simultaneously at terminals in the Proto Lab, the Deutero Lab, and the Director's office. Perhaps this discovery would be of interest to Shale. Soul Cell Storage Case. A collection of soul cells may have once belonged to the Director. They appear to be empty. Cluttered side table. Amongst other personal effects, you find what is presumably the Director's data tablet. A closed locker stands next to the tablet. Examine the tablet. You pick up the data tablet. I bet you this is the locker is the lift, the elevator. You pick up the data tablet and begin skimming through the contents. Daily reports. Nothing of note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. The key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional portal verified. Continue attempts to stabilize cause energy reactions. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Whoa. 13, Memory faculties of 4 personnel sufficiently intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for ether reclamation processing. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Milala researchers. Major incidents. Details in full report. Those 2 inept Milala draft document. Those 2 inept Milala broke with preservation and absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated. We were too late to recover the relic. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx as physical instruments to conduct his experiments. Deprived of the object of our research, our existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointment in me. The complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to ether, which will be allocated for further experimentation. Whoa. Okay. That's harsh. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calix's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of eternal life. Shutdown protocols. So there's probably gonna be some of that. Yeah, that would make sense to have preservation as a new Ascian-like organization, right? With Calix as the main guy, and you know who all the other endless that he made as the lesser Ascians, basically. Who knows? It would make sense. All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I will proceed with my own corporeal dissolution. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. Whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, it must be ready to support future operations in whatever capacity Master Calix requires. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. Oh, separately in the Meso terminal? Oh, maybe that's why we need to go there. I have not looked at the locker yet. Why are you lying to me, game? The door to the locker swings open easily. Well, that's creepy. It contains nothing of note. You kindly shut the locker door. That's so cool. Oh, I love it. Have you found something? Crumpled note. Thank you. A misplaced note, was it? With instructions for accessing a secure room, no less, seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. There was no such room marked on the map, was there? No. A precautionary measure, no doubt. And if passwords are involved, I expect the access lift itself is concealed too. Concealed? By electrope, you mean? Ah, could it be the wall? I suggest it seemed odd when I walked past. Remember what Kafkiwa used to say, Shale? Never trust an electrope surface. You can't pass right through electrope. Right, we've seen that. Really? It never had the property in my time. Yume is having a little fun, I think. What we mean is electrope can project a false appearance. That's what I meant, yeah. Yeah. In which case, it shouldn't be too hard to disable. I mean, if we could walk through electrope, then it would just fall through the floor, right? Another door. I've managed to deactivate the protection, but the lock is another story. Didn't that note lay out the password protocol? I say we go ahead and try it. I agree. 2 people should prepare the lab terminals for input while the rest of us look for passwords here in the office. I'll take the proto lab. Then I'll take the Deutera lab. Actually, it might be better if you stayed, Sphene. Your knowledge of Alexandria and its people could be needed here. Right, I'm pretty sure we're gonna take her with us. Right? To the dungeon. Yes, you're right. If the passwords are hiding behind clues, that may be something I can help with. Remind me, I think we don't have access to living well, obviously I can teleport there, right? But I think living memory was cut off because the key was removed, right? So the whole living memory is not connected anymore to the to Everkeep, right? So there must be some way we get back there. I can help too. I've lived my whole life in Alexandria after all. Yeah, it's a pretty short life, I think, right? I will take the I will take the Tira lab duty then. We can keep in touch via communicator and match our timing. Yomi, you shall have the honor of entering the office password. Nice. Once you've determined what we need to input, take your place at this terminal. I'll stand by to guide Vuklamat and Kryal through the process. You know, there was that display plate over there, the one with the gems. I thought since it was made of electrope, it might have some other purpose. But I couldn't find any switches or buttons to make it do anything. Maybe you can figure it out. I'm pretty sure we need to find a gem-shaped gem to put in there. Take another look. Oh. It's the same thing, okay. Two jewels are embedded in the electro plate. You identify the blue gem as a sapphire and the red gem as a garnet. Oh, a garnet, are you telling me? There also appears to be an empty slot for another jewel to fill. No. Keep calm and everything will be fine. Both of you are quick studies. I kept searching the drawers with the books and found a cube puzzle made for electrope. It's probably just a toy, but maybe? Solve the puzzle, of course. You got it. Oh, I really like this. I hope they do more of this in the future, more of this type of content. Like, it's still a little clunky and a little drawn out, but give me more of little puzzles and stuff to solve. Come on, just something to do during the MSQ, not just not, right? Let's see, if I move this bit and connect the circuit to that one there. Oh, dang, I thought I would actually get to solve a Rubik's Cube. Never mind then. Oh, there was something inside. Oh, it's a pretty green stone. I think it might be Alexandrite. I could have given that. They say these gems are so treasured in the past that they named the kingdom after them. Here, you should hold on to this one just in case. Oh, come on, I thought you let me resolve a Rubik's Cube. Well, I guess I don't currently have. Do I have any Alexandrites? You know, for... I should have some... Maybe one of my retainers has them. Probably, right? You know, for the Realm Reborn relics. Yeah, I for sure have some of those. I have like dozens of those. Still, better gameplay content than in the rest of the expansion. Better non-combat content, obviously. And non-story focused. You understand what I mean, right? Two jewels are embedded in this electrode plate. Yeah, right. Oh, hello. A gemstone fits snugly into place. Almost immediately afterwards, the glowing lines of a diagram appear on the display, accompanied by a short phrase. What does it say? Could this represent a floor plan of this complex? Well, obviously. As you continue studying the display, you realize that these shapes correspond to the rooms of the complex in which you now stand. I did. This may be related to the passwords you were looking for. Well, they did say that we have to input passwords there at the same time everywhere, right? Is it just the gems? This slot contains a sapphire. It's placed in the floor plan and corresponds to the protolab. This slot contains a garnet. It's placed in the floor, corresponds to the deuterolab. Well, I know. Scroll phrase. The glowing words appear to be handwritten. Is that the password? Yes, I knew that jewel would come in handy. Let me see. Eat stones? This must be about the special meanings Alexandrians have for gems. It's an old belief, I think, where each type of gem means something different. I bet if you ask Sphene, she could tell you more about it. After all, even her name comes from a gemstone. Okay. Sphene! Listen, answer me. Yes, if you have questions, you need only ask. The symbolism of Alexandrite. Well, I always thought that Alexandrite represents the concept of protection. It is incidentally also the origin of Alexandria's name. Oh, are you thinking this has something to do with the passwords? Pretty much, yeah. Sapphire and garnet as well, you say? Yes, they all have meanings. Well, with Sapphire, you can summon Leviathan, and the garnet makes you summon Bahamut, and Alexandrite doesn't... Wait, no, makes you summon... Is Alexandrite what you need to summon the Ark? FF14. Alexandrite, as I said, is protection. Sapphire represents honesty, and Garnet symbolizes devotion. You should try these words at the terminals and see if they are accepted. I certainly hope you're right. Okay. You've gathered enough information to attempt entering the passwords. We're all set to go here. Vuklamat and Kryl are just waiting on the passwords. Let's start with Vuklamat in the protolab. What word should she enter? There was the Sapphire, so honesty. And the password for Kryl in the Tira lab was the Garnet, so devotion. And lastly, what will be input for the director's office? That was protection. Right, we have all 3 passwords ready. Now to enter them into the system at the same time. I like that they finally make us do something. You know, like not just click through the character solving everything. Yay, we did it! Woo! Even though it's not difficult, but it's something. It's a step into the right direction. I like it. Yes! Oh, I'm so glad that worked. The secure room is the only place you've yet to search. If the data relay is anywhere, it has to be there. That secure room is the only place you've yet to search. If the data relay is anywhere, it has to be there. We'll venture in as soon as Vuklamat and Kryl rejoin us. Well, that went well. Excellent clue finding, Yomi. Thank you, thank you. It was very difficult. Speaking of gemstones, symbology, for Alexandrians, Sphene holds the meaning of eternal light. When my parents named me, it was with their wish that I become an unwavering beacon of hope for our people. To think on it now, I have ever shared that destiny with my other self. Great work, Yomi. Leave it to you to divine passwords from an ornamental display. Well, it was Sphene. Mostly, but okay. We did it thanks to you, and a little bit thanks to me, I hope. They're really pampering me right now, and I'm like, yeah, finally you did something, Warrior of Light, not Vuklamat, right? Alright everyone, time to board the lift and see what awaits us. How about Living Memory and the Meso terminal? Wouldn't that be something? Well, I guess not. Oh, wait, isn't that where Calyx was, where we saw Calyx working? Like in one of the very first.
Terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after.
In one of the very first cutscenes we saw him. Huh, maybe not. Well, I guess all the terminals kind of look the same, right?
It is, but whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
Oh wow, I thought it was like a small laptop. That's actually pretty big. What?
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form. These data entities, as we might call them, have only 2 methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in Living Memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body?
In a database. A Meso terminal.
The Endless are memories, and if memories are data, then...
In a world formed of data?
Yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electro-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
Hmm.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems
Oh,
surreal.
that's what you mean, okay.
So this
Oh yeah,
virtual
makes
domain,
sense. Right.
It would also be housed within the Meso terminal.
Yeah.
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in living memory.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended. The Meso terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Sphne's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face a master of electrope engineering. That he managed to partition and protect the sector harboring his own memories is well within the bounds of possibility.
I mean, he's still
Let us
alive,
say
so
that the Meso terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calyx himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
wait, do we have that still open?
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited Living Memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen.
But now you think Calyx might be responsible.
Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the Keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere. Almost every single one has you as its focus.
Mm-hmm.
He's keeping track of the key holder's movements.
What if I gave the key to someone else?
Time's up, and what a waste of time it's been.
Hi.
Hoping to find me by tracing security data? That will not be necessary. Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you.
Okay, I wonder.
Come. I invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso terminal.
Yay!
The storage device which holds my memories is there.
Yay!
Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
Sounds good. Verified.
And if we refuse this invitation?
I will kill everyone.
And continue to convert
I'll just
Alexandrians
dead.
into endless.
That's a stupid question.
Consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser choice.
I am burning for that dungeon.
Answer me one question, Calyx. The Endless Sphene. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
You pour salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part. As her end drew near, Sphene and her restructured memories had become one with the terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine. Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key. I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
Even you can make mistakes. I like that.
It does. And and I'm satisfied that you will take nothing more from this nation. Not one more life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me?
Oh, so intimidating. Alright.
Sorry for losing my temper.
That's how you lose how you sound when you lose a temper.
People like Calyx. Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
He's wrong if he thinks he's taken that measure.
If I may, I realize it is not my place to say this. Even so, I must thank you both. On behalf of my other self, allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.
Well, that was an adventure. It may not have been by the method Shale was hoping for, but at least now we know where to find Calyx and what we need to do next. Indeed. While I remain curious about Preservation's research into the key, that is an investigation for another day. And let's head straight for the back room. We should get everyone on the same page before we make a move. No, I want to go to the Meso terminal, come on. Okay, so I did really like that part of gameplay just now with exploring the lab and finding clues and stuff. I hope they do more like that in the future. That was sure the better part of the patch so far. You know, it felt like actually going in there, it built excitement, you know, like finding the keys and stuff, and you know at the end you will find something interesting with the key. The revelation of the key was interesting, right? Just a smidge sad makes me that, you know, in the end it didn't really yield anything. Like, it would have been better, in my opinion, if he would actually have found a way to find Calyx through that data relay and not by him just telling us. Because in the end, it's just like, yeah, he probably would have told us that anyways, right? If he just had waited a little longer, because he still wants the key, and he's like, sure, just come up here. On the other hand, you might argue that he might not have done that if he wouldn't have figured it out ourselves anyways. I'm not sure. So basically, you know, like there was this build up, you know, like with finding the keys and finding secrecy and whatnot. Just what we found in the end was a bit of a letdown, I would say, to that build up. But other than that, I found that a really good sequence of the MSQ. A really interesting one in my opinion. Even though obviously it was rather slow gameplay, but at least it was gameplay. You know, like usually, like the first half, running around. Sorry, my nose is kind of itching here. The first half running around with the geode and stuff like that. At least this time we were actively doing something, right? I mean, it was an interesting story, but usually it's just like the MSQ is really just you reading a visual novel, basically, right? And now it actually had some non-interesting non-combat gameplay in it, right? And I really like that. I hope they do more of that in the future. But now it's dungeon time. It's time to put an end to this. Calyx won't stop until we stop him. The situation isn't the best out there, but at least you've come back to us safe and sound. I've passed on the short versions of events to a comrade so that we can all prepare for the challenge ahead. It was my other self who entrusted you with the key. Though she could not change who she was, the consequences of her final choice linger, empowering us to shape our own future. Shayla has been out of sorts ever since we got back. I don't think she liked what Calyx said, but don't worry, I'll do my best to cheer her up. Damn that bastard Calyx. He waited until I was this close before snatching away my moment of triumph. Yeah, exactly. Like, you'll have it anyways. Like teasing her, and that infuriating, condescending way he spoke to us. We'll see whose time is up, you smug little weasel. Anyway, I know things didn't go to plan, but we learned a great deal about preservation. That knowledge could come in handy in the days to come. Though I may not be able to contribute much to a direct, that's true, we did learn quite some about preservation. But I'm not sure, it doesn't have an immediate impact, so we'll see. Right? Like, what was his name? You know, the director, I already forgot it. But I may not be able to contribute much to direct confrontation. I mean to see this through with you all, providing whatever support I can. One of our own. Sphene is resolved to take part in the coming battle. Yomi, we've briefed Erenville on everything that has happened and sent word to the others. We've now but to consider what the next action will be. Well, we do exactly as we were told. Obviously, duh. Calyx has offered you the opportunity to confront him directly. And though it feels much like striding face first into an ambush, we have little choice. That's usually what I do best, striving into an ambush and ambush them back. If we are to destroy the memories he supposedly has stored in the upper reaches of the Meso terminal, then that is where we must go. While I'm still upset at being deprived of my moment, I nevertheless did my due diligence. I can confirm that the relay was found was indeed transmitting surveillance data to the device somewhere in living memory. When you go to fight Calyx, pray let me fight alongside you. Let me fight for the memory of Otis and Selenia and for the other Sphene I may have become, but most importantly for my beloved kingdom and the joyful tomorrow. And so that you can die and the writers in future don't have to deal with you as a character. Of course, but no reckless heroics. Yes, Mom. Yes, I understand. I promise not to subject myself or the party to needless danger. I'll be coming with you as well. You know my reasons. Yes, because you're the only tank that we have here. Currently. It hardly needs saying, but... oh no. I mean, Graha should still be around, right? But, well... It hardly needs saying, but your fellow Science also have every intention of accompanying you into battle. Ooh, can we do the trial with NPCs? That sounds nice. So adamant were Elise and the others on this point that they have already left for living memory. I am more than ready to do the same. Let me count. 2 tanks, Graha and Muklamot. 2 healers, Sphene and Alfino. Then damage dealers, Kryl, Yashtola, and Alize, right? Me. Nice. So I guess we're gonna... ah, so I don't have to play with other players for this. Yay! It's just better for immersion, obviously. I keep patrolling the streets for signs of trouble, especially from anyone wearing knee regulators. Should you need anything from me, I'll be on standby here in the back room. I really want to go with you too, but I know I can't. I know that sometimes you have to be patient and trust in your friends. Oh Yomi, Kryl and I think that we should talk to Go-san before we leave for living memory. Under Calyx's direction, preservation has helped shape Alexandria's society for centuries. Taking him down will have serious consequences, and we need to warn the officials in charge about what we intend. Justifications aside, we shall all be acting against the wishes of all who desire to become endless. Exactly. We don't know if Go-san will approve or oppose our chosen course, but either way, leaving without a word is the wrong thing to do. Come, we should be on our way. A solution first, yes? Be safe, everyone. We'll see you when it's over. Well, we have the, the king on our side, so that should count for something, right? In terms of officials. Even people from my village have taken to wearing neo-regulators. I can only hope it doesn't end badly. As I said, I'll be ready and waiting if and when you have need of me. Just make sure you come back in one piece. I'll do whatever I can to help Shale and Erenville. It may not be much, but small things add up when you do enough of them. That's true. I see Gosan's wearing a neo-regulator. He'll have some thoughts to share on the subject, I'll wager. The air is thick with a sense of unease, not least around Gosan himself. Government officials must be fielding demands from all quarters. I do not envy Gosan his position.
I see. A difficult situation. In the absence of an official sovereign, I agree that it is not preservation's place to dictate the future of our nation. However, I also cannot simply take a side and declare my support for your efforts to defeat Calyx.
Just turn a blind eye on us.
Is that because of the new regulator you wear?
I've yet to register it. I find myself caught between the fear of dying and the desire to carry out the duties of governance. My greatest concern is how we shall stem this ever-increasing terror of mortality when becoming endless is no longer an option. And that's to say nothing of the recent slaughter committed by our own soldiers. The fact that such violence was perpetrated for the very purpose of creating endless will, paradoxically, make it more difficult to endorse your chosen course. It may not seem logical, but for those who lost friends and family in the attacks, halting the creation process altogether would render the deaths of their loved ones utterly meaningless. Is it not cruel to rob them of what little solace they could claim, when we have only just learned what it is to mourn? Tell me, how are we meant to overcome such tragedies?
We stop begging others to teach us for a start.
They heard everything he said, obviously, from
For the longest time,
50 meters away.
we've been protected by Queen Sphene.
Oh, sorry. My finger is getting heavy.
And responsibilities of life were distant things, and we felt entitled to our comforts. Even as we barely noticed those who risked everything to keep us sheltered.
The Thunder, that's the one that was a fighter in the Arcadian, right?
But no more. From now on, we need to learn on our own. How to live with the promise of death. How to
I'm sure I've
endure the
heard that
pain
piece of music
loss.
before.
We may never learn to love such things, but we may learn to survive them. The people beyond the barrier, even the Alexandrians of old, they've all had to live with these fears. There's no reason we can't do it too.
Yeah, that's the right.
What are you all doing here?
Malachi
Right mindset.
Paulson and the Oblivion members briefed us on the current crisis. You don't stand idly by while your house burns down. We came together and thought about how we could help. Long story short, we've decided
Aren't
to
you
join
blind?
the fight alongside Oblivion.
That's the blind one, right?
I say fight, but we're well aware of how little use we'd be in actual combat.
A battle of ideas.
I'm just
on
saying
the
because
other
she
hand.
seems to be looking straight at us.
We might be qualified to do something about. We'll talk to our neighbors and do our best to quell their fears. Convince them to make the most of this life. and enjoy all it has to offer. Perhaps that will help to ease your burden.
We are not alone. I'm so gonna cry if they don't, if it's not in the game.
Even if a few are assuaged by your words, it will make things easier.
Those who have already registered will be difficult to sway, but there are still many who waver. Those are the ones we'll concentrate on.
Gossen, if you truly care for the people of Alexandria, then now's the time to start thinking of ways to prevent more deaths.
Were I to become endless at the expense of my countrymen's lives, I would regret it for the rest of my existence. Forgive my weakness. When the people have lost their way, it falls to the government to support and guide them. Alexandria can rise above this sorrow and find its way forward once more. Is that not so, Your Majesty?
Indeed it is.
Why are you looking so shocked? What the heck? Oh, because you didn't react to it.
That wasn't... what I meant to say was...
Calm down, Sphene.
Lamity, you used her name.
Yeah, I was like, why did you not say you're not the queen? Come on.
The perfect resemblance to our beloved Queen Sphene has not escaped.
Oh, so they did realize, okay.
Yet we also understand that you are not her. Having to live in secret, unable to share who you really are. That must have been hard on you. When you come back, please tell us all about yourself. I imagine yours is a rather outlandish story, but we're eager to hear it all the same. You're one of us, an Alexandrian, and we don't abandon our own.
Well, the patch is still quite some time long, so we can't have the foregone happy conclusion here, right? So...
I promise to return. And when I do, I look forward to speaking with you all.
I like that outfit a lot more than the, you know, like the plastic princess garment that she was wearing during the MSQ ride. He looked so superficial, and that's probably the exact intention behind it, so... Superficial? Artificial, oh my god. Artificial, not superficial, sorry. Sphene must be overjoyed to be so welcomed by her countrymen. For their sakes, we need to bring her back safely. She's getting death flagged! It is a really... Or you are not alone flagged. Or both. It is a relief to be freed from my indecision. Until I had removed my regulator, I hadn't realized quite how heavy it weighed upon me. I'm glad we were able to hear the will of the Alexandrian people. Now it falls to us to see the rest of it through. Everyone was so warm and welcoming. Alexandrians are, as ever, a stalwart people. How glad I am to be home. Thank you, Gosan. That decision must have been difficult to make. If only I could claim the courage to do so came from within. Yeah. Final push came from Alexandrian citizens and their bravery in taking the first step towards change. Speaking of which, can I ask you to lock that neo-regulator away where no one can get to it? That should prevent the registrations from reaching the target number. Oh yeah, right. Ah, that's a good idea. Wow, quick thinking there. By the cat, you know. I should be glad to do so, but I fear it would be to no avail. According to our most recent surveys, the number of NEO-regulators in circulation exceeds the stated 5,000. I surmise the surplus units are to account for those like myself who have had a change of heart or are otherwise hesitant to register. Ah, that does sound like something Calyx would do. Well, we'll have to face him either way, so no point in delaying the inevitable. On to living memory. Finally! It only took me 3 hours. Jesus. To get to this point.
Things seem much the same.
Is there so much new music in this patch, or am I just not remembering any of this?
So listen, you have nothing more to fear than any other normal day. Deep breaths. We'll get through this.
You'd be telling them much the same if you were here. I suppose it falls to me now.
Let's do this, come on. Hey, whole party is here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Coincidence? I think not. We've all been so busy, it seems an age since last we've gathered in such a manner. I must say we do make for a formidable group. This is good. It is good to rejoin you all. I needed to step away briefly that I might make arrangements for a certain precautionary measure. Okay. Coming here reminds me of my parents, of the courage they gave me. Teams Alfino and Elise were the ones to explain to Kona our need to enter the Senate. He urged us to be extremely careful, of course. I had scarcely awakened here when I fell unconscious. Now that I can fully enjoy the gentle silence of this place, it brings tears to my eyes. Last time I had to wait in the Senate, but there's nothing to stop me from joining this fight. Ah, it is good to see our comrades hale and girded for battle. As for us, we've been ahead to inspect the lay of the land. There were no changes of note, aside from with the Meso terminal itself. Why, what's happened to the Meso terminal? The wall has receded to provide a convenient entrance into the structure's interior. There was no such ingress when last we were here, so we must assume that Calyx has since manipulated the terminal's electrope. All to facilitate his most gracious invitation to the upper levels. Reminds me of an invitation of a certain someone that we at some point got to visit a certain fake city under the seas. An invitation I am eager to accept. For the sake of all who love Alexandria, I will not yield nor leave them to despair. A terminal invitation. Yashtola would proceed to the Meso terminal. I believe everyone determined to be here is present and accounted for. Shall we make our way to the terminal? We wouldn't wish to keep our insistent host waiting. Let's go, go, go. Hey, that means we're gonna see... Are we gonna see? I'm not sure. We usually see the credits on the 0.3 patches? No, on the 0.55 patches usually, right? Right. An endless existence for the evolution of mankind. I understand what he strives for, but not what drives him to do so with such ruthlessness. It hadn't occurred to me that one might physically enter the terminal. Although I suppose it makes sense when you think about it. A structure for creating Endless would have required maintenance administered by corporeal hands. When we shut down all the minor terminals, we watched as the Endless faded away. I do not believe it was a performance stage to deceive us. As for the Meso terminal, however, it had already grown dark by the time we had returned from the virtual domain. While I am loath to admit it, it is possible its true appearance was hidden from us in our absence. Which is why we must bring this tale to its denouement by our own hand. So this is where the former queen's memories were stored. And she herself tried to erase them. Even as an Endless, her resolve was so strong that she would kill her heart to become the cold machine she believed she needed to be. Living memories steeped in the dense lightning ether of the Ninth. This pervasive energy must be what the terminal utilizes as a power source. I remember little of my awakening. The paralysis yet lingered and my eyes could barely focus. Well, here we are again, facing another battle to decide Alexandria's fate. For 4 centuries I slept here. Upon awakening I found the world as I knew it had changed. I was so frightened at first. I couldn't recognize a single thing, and thought everything I loved had gone to dust. Yet beneath the unfamiliar surface, much remained the same. For that I give thanks to Otis and Selenia and the Royal Knights who laid their lives on the line to defend our way of life. I thank every Alexandrian who believed in our future and passed on a legacy. Thank my other self who so loved this kingdom of ours. And I thank you all for kindling this hope in my heart, this courage to take up arms and fight once more. Let us make our stand together and fight for what we hold dear. Kind and gentle Queen Sphene was too weak to serve her people, and so she will serve them no more. Oh, that was Endless Sphene, sorry. Freed from conscience, I shall become a ruler that can protect Alexandria, a devourer of worlds. We will rise to the challenge that the Endless Sphene could not. That we shall. I wish to see Alexandria endure as one I am happy to fulfill. Let's head inside and finish this. In the upper reaches of this terminal awaits a device which holds Calix's memories. It falls to us to make the climb and destroy it once and for all. Aye, we must bring matters to a definitive end. We'll not suffer him to cause Alexandria further harm nor claim the key. The Queen entrusted it to Yomi for good reason, and besides, it would be a tragedy indeed to relinquish a relic with so much research potential. Okay. Apparently Calix thinks he's taken your measure. I urge you to correct that misguided assumption. Oh yes, I am willing to do so. I wholeheartedly concur, yet, he only has to look at my logs to find my measure, I guess. There's enough data about me out there, I guess. I wholeheartedly concur, yet would still counsel caution. That he would be so bold as to extend us an invitation bespeaks tremendous confidence in his preparations. Come, friends, we set forth into the midst of dreaming endless. A Meso terminal now accessible. And cut the music. Oh no, it continues on. Okay, for once. That's the wrong one, okay. Alright, we're not gonna take Guglamat, no, be gone. Obviously. Oh, she is. Swimmancer. What? The heck's that? I want you as a tank, not as a healer.
Pleasure as always.
But we're gonna take Ryan as a healer, but that's fine. Obviously, it takes taking Sphene as a DPS. Come on. Average item level 720. We close this and then we register, right? Okay. It's been a while. Loot rule normal, which means I get everything because you're all NPCs and they don't count. Ah. Here we go. Let's hear that piece of music. Ooh, nice. Like it. Unlost World, the Meso terminal. Okay. I like the music.
Ah, you've come. I'll begin by wearing you down.
Well, okay. This is a different floor to where I was in stasis, says Sphene. Oh, it's pretty big. Alright, let's see if we can pull 2 groups of enemies together, right? It's been a while since I've played any Viper.
Hold still.
Data station. Well, let's see what lore we can gather. What is preservation's purpose? The answer to that question is simple: to ensure the survival of mankind. In a world beset by lightning-aspected imbalance, this means securing a place where people may live in safety, as well as establishing a treatment for the Levin sickness which plagues us. Many approaches were considered, but in the end it was a child, a youth of undeniable genius, who discovered the most brilliant and complete solution to all the changes we now face. How about preserving memories is not preserving lives? Alright.
I've created new endless for you. Not all are warriors, but they will follow orders.
Okay.
And survive, and so forth. Here, I shall prepare the stage for battle.
Do we have a second group somewhere waiting? Come over here before my thing runs out. Hey, bro.
Something special for you.
Ooh, I like special things. So what exactly is this now? Wait, are these just other endless? Oh. Right, at least we cannot see the faces, I guess, right? But he's throwing actual endless at us, right? Ugh.
The memories of a physician. One who saves lives should be reluctant to die.
Kairush in general. Well, alright, let's have a look at this. Ugh. Kinda reminds me on P4. A good thing that did not push things around, but actually the people, right? Interesting that this has a telegraph. A potent concoction, this one. I'm sorry, but you must be stopped. preventing you from... Oh, that's funny. Kinda like that. Oh. Oh, I didn't realize it would go off in that combination. I thought we would again have to be knocked back. Into a safe spot. Concentrated dose. Oh. I do like this. Oh, you need to remember so that they
overburdened the system. No matter, it served its purpose.
did it. I guess, if you say so. I mean, he did say he was only wearing us down, right? Currently. I did really like that that mechanic. I mean, it's a memory mechanic, right? Which they have a lot of in the game, but with the added thing of deceiving you. That was fun. According to Master Calyx, it is not the body which provides life to a living being, but soul. Furthermore, it is the memories etched upon that ephemeral giver of existence which encapsulates one's true self. Based upon these principles, he has proposed a methodology for preserving souls using electrope technology. As souls are composed entirely of ether, he asserts that storage via contemporary means should be eminently possible. Experiments conducted on criminal subjects and volunteers have, in fact, already proven successful in capturing the ether released at the moment of death. Mankind as we know it has taken a great leap forward. Wait, so is it also the souls being... I'm confused. I thought it was only the memories that are taken into consideration when they make the Endless.
Next, we visit a prison of sinister repute. I need not compel them to fight.
Okay. But there's even prison in your data world. Prisons, interesting. Do your job, Gra. Get the... Pull the mobs away from the bullying DPS and the healer who is trying to save sad DPS. Which is totally what I would be doing as well, right? Yeah. I don't have any room in my inventory. Ah! What are you saying? Are you saying something? I was distracted. You'll make a fine example. Get them! Okay. Hey, next boss. Oh wow, we are on the gauge.
Executioners. They shall deal appropriately with criminals.
Well, okay.
Your sentence is death. How long can you defy it?
Ah. Interesting, we all get our own. Did he just... Okay.
Criminals may run, but they cannot escape.
Dismemberment? I don't like that. That's a pretty cool fight. I really like this dungeon so far. Playing flail. Oh, hello. Heel of Judgment. Serial torture? What? Oh. Didn't realize I could destroy this. Whoa. Wait, what? Why did it suddenly take so much damage? Is it because I didn't fight the thing? It took me a long while to realize that was the... I guess that's the... Oh, I guess you need to destroy that. So, to stop the cooking, right? Stupid me.
Your sentence is death. How long can you defy it?
Well, until I got cooked. And literally. I didn't realize that the damage was mounting. I thought it would just stay on a very low dot damage, you know, until we defeated the boss. Alright, there we go. I do realize its presence this time, obviously. Oh god. I really like it, this is just a series of one-on-ones. I do wonder if it can help out the others in the end, though. You know, once we defeated ours. We're just repeating mechanics now.
Allow me.
How was Alfina the quickest of them? That's kind of funny. As the healer, you know. There we go. That was a fun fight.
Good. I bid you continue on.
Alright, one more, right? And then we get the trial. There we go. We're here, right? Come on. Save me, Gra, please! My hero! Alright. What's the next, the last area gonna be? Well, not a data station first, I guess. You have succeeded in transferring a soul stored within a specialized electrode device into a mechanical soldier, resulting in full control and function. No longer need we fear the erosion which lightning energies inflict upon flesh and blood bodies. Yet despite this crucial breakthrough, Master Calyx remains unsatisfied. He would divorce memory from soul, siphoning the soul's ether reserves whilst granting eternal life to the individual's memories, so it was only the memories. Unfettered to a soul, memories can not only be stored, but also backed up as data. The Endless will be beings of pure information. His foreshortened lifespan was, perhaps, the very perspective needed to conceive of such a unique evolutionary path. So the soldiers are actually souls? Ugh. Okay, powered by souls. Well, okay.
Memories from an age rife with death. The desperation will serve well. The enemy is at the gate. To arms, good soldiers, protect your...
Lindblum bastards. I was just saying, like, so far design-wise, this dungeon was a bit of a letdown, I would say. You know, considering what we usually get in a 0.3 patch. Right? Well. Yeah, but now we have actual Alexandria here, so that's nice. Hello. Hi guys. Only I could fight better. Please keep me safe. Is that Ruby's theater? Well, not really. Kinda, but yeah, it's pretty different, I guess. Might have been inspired by it there, right? As a lot of this draws inspiration from Final Fantasy IX, obviously. Alright, come on, final fight. Final boss.
Very well. If one by one they fall, I'll send them all as one.
Didn't you just do that before?
The anguish you felt when you faced death. And rise. Rise to defend your nation, your people, and your loved ones.
Oh jeez, the immortal remains. Okay. Hey look, it's Elden Beast.
And meet the foe before you.
I mean, that's what we're doing, sure. Here we go.
An amalgam of memories. Let us see how it fares.
Recollection. I've already defeated that. That doesn't work. Oh, is it gonna copy?
It is the midst of the storm surge.
Okay. What is going on? Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Countless lives are lost in the senseless conflict. War swells in scope and intensity. Hold still.
It's pretty easy so far, I have to say. Like, in comparison to the very first expert dungeons we had, right? Of the expansion. Why are you going over here? Ooh, I see. That makes sense. Immortal Remains is gathering energy. On the right side?
The bombs rain down without pause or mercy.
The bombs? Oh yeah, during the conflict with Lindblum, right? I'm following Graha. Can't see where I'm standing, but I think I should be fine. Memory of the Pyre. Oh, that's a tank buster.
Spark of life is dimmed with every blinding flash.
Memento! Oh, what a great movie. Lightning. Oh, Jesus!
Death is
That was fun, eh?
everywhere, pillaging the promise of the future.
They run away from where they run away from. What? Okay, sure. Not like this. Why? My teammate buffs, dang. Oh jeez, I didn't even look. Blade dance! Don't think that's an AoE, but still. Kinda looks like an AoE, but it isn't. Alright, let's give him hell. There we go. Nice. Pretty neat dungeon. Not very difficult. It doesn't have to be. I really like the mechanics, you know, like the fight, the second boss where you just have a one-on-one for everybody. And this one where you have to see as to where the people are running from is actually kinda cool. Creative tethers. My countryman, your memories will carry onwards. He's using the endless like pawns, as hard as it is, blah 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 blah. Memories of fear and terror. We see this to the end. Come on, twins. Damn you, Calyx! Avino, you got nothing to say? There you go. An unconscionable act. Consignable? Whatever. Yay, one slot remaining in my inventory. Ah! I don't need this one. Alright, and now the trial. Then these 2 super long episodes are done and I can go to bed. Yay. Got a day off tomorrow, so it's no issue, but still. I'm getting tired.
Sphene?
The endless he sent against us. They were from the time of the storm surge, before I was placed into stasis.
As far as we know, the only sector to escape the shutdown was the one containing Calyx's memories. Assuming a chronological system, every other memory stored in that sector would belong to people who lived around the same period in history as he did.
That makes sense.
Calyx, how long have you pursued this madness?
Quite some time.
We seem to have exhausted his defenses for the moment. I say we take advantage of this lull to press on.
Let's see what the trial is. The trial is... Is it gonna be Sphene again? Huh.